All right, guys, we're at my buddy's house, and we just finished up his fountain pump. If you need to make one, let's get right into it. I'm going to show you how. Okay, so now we're going to put our... Oh! So what we have, our initial just rough. Let's see what we got. Whoa! All right, guys, so we're out here at the pond. All right, guys, maiden voyage. I'm gonna fall over. All right, let's do it. Alrighty, guys, well, today we are going to make a pool fountain pump. And I don't know why I'm yelling. Why am I yelling? I'm yelling at the camera.
Hopefully they can hear us.
Alrighty, guys, well, today I got my buddy Matt here, and he has a pond that we need to make a fountain pump for.
Yep.
We watched some videos and got some ideas, and we come up with some of our own ideas. So anyway, let's show you what we got.
Give it a shot.
We got this barrel. We're gonna make the top float. We're gonna cut this down. And where's our basket?
Right here.
There's our basket.
Yep.
Our idea is under this float, we're gonna do a laundry basket, put the pump in here, and wrap this filter media around it to keep the pump from getting clogged. So, I mean, that's gonna have to be cleaned, but anyway, there's
Good way
that.
to save a few $1,000s.
Oh yeah, how many $1,000s?
Probably at least like $2,000.
Oh wow.
I think, yeah.
So
I mean,
anyways,
normally pumps go like $1,500 to $2,000 depending on how big of a pump you want to do.
Oh wow.
So this was like total, I don't even know, $100, $200.
Right. Okay, so we've got some 2-inch pipe. Now this pump is going to be hanging off of that barrel. And I'll show you what we're going to do here in a minute, but we got 2-inch pipe, which pretty much supports it. It's a fairly heavy pump. I think we're going to run some polypropylene rope I've got around here somewhere, and we're going to probably support it off the handle just to keep it from, you know, so much tension on this pipe. And we got some pond.
Great stuff.
Yeah, great stuff for a pond. You have to use that because you don't want water getting in that sealant or that foam and waterlogging it. Now, for our fountain cap, what we are gonna try is cutting some grooves in this to make our fountain, but we've got threaded caps, so they're removable. And for the fountain top, we're gonna come up. So on the top of our barrel, we're gonna let this stick out of the top of our barrel. Probably gonna run the barrel right up to the male adapter, I'm assuming. And we're gonna put a coupling below it and capture the top of the barrel so it can't, you know, slide in and out. And then, like I was saying, for this fountain cap, it's removable, so we can try different patterns on this and cut different holes and get different sprays and see what we come up with. So now this pump, where the pipe comes in, center of gravity is off. So we don't want kind of deal with that center of gravity. So we're gonna actually offset the pipe so it comes up on center of gravity. So we don't have some tilting action going on. So I think if we do this, that'll get us pretty much centered. Now, let's see, what else have we got here? I think I've gone over everything except we've got a cord sealer. So of course this cord is only so long, so it's probably gonna end up underwater. So we have this waterproof sealer. I don't even know how to open it. Oh, here we go. And we're gonna put this in here to seal this cord connection. We're gonna get this barrel cut. We're gonna cut down, I think in maybe 12 inches. We'll see. we're gonna go ahead and measure this and cut this off. So let's get right into it. Let's see, to make this easier, instead of trying to measure off of something that has no particular edge, we're gonna make us a little scribe. And let's see what happens here. This is gonna be about 10 inches. Probably should have pulled that in farther to the tip. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's way better. Now, of course, this doesn't have to be exact, but we try to do it as accurately as possible. So this is going to be about 10 inches. Now, we're just going to have to see how much foam fills this with these 2 bottles. From the videos we've watched, 2 bottles is about right. So we're just going to fill this up with foam, and we'll recut this off later to whatever height we feel like is right. But let's get this opened up. So what we're gonna do, guys, is cut this off. We're gonna drill a hole and get our pipe through and mounted. And then at that point, we're gonna foam this and brake, because this is what we're gonna get done today. And then we'll be coming back later to install the pump and hook it all up and get our filter set up. Obviously this has got to cure. So, all right guys, so I got my glasses, 4 eyes for safety. And what I'm gonna do is just come in here and we're gonna saw this off with the good old circular saw. Okie doke. Looks like we're gonna have to clean this thing out a little bit too. Well, we cut this open, and this was something oily in it. It's supposed to be food grade, so no, nothing toxic or anything, but we want to make sure we don't have any oils in here or this foam is not going to stick. We're going to have a missing pump float. We're just going to have the float. He's going to come out and see a cake of be like, why do I have a cake of float foam?
It's not a pond.
Where's
pump.
my pump?
He's just using this degreaser here.
So we'll get this cleaned up real good. I'm thinking we'll probably rub it down with acetone too, just so we don't have any chance of the foam not adhering. Probably sand it, some coarse sandpaper. We just don't want that happening. Okay guys, so we've got it all degreased and washed out and rinsed out. Now let's get some acetone, make sure we don't have any oil or film in here. Film of oil, that is. So we'll splash a little bit in and make sure we have all our residue out. Okay, now I've got a 40 grit pad here, and we're gonna rough this up because this is so smooth. I'm afraid this foam isn't gonna stick. So we definitely don't want it coming off and the foam falling out later. So let's rough this up real fast. All right, well, we've got it all scratched up real nice. Hopefully that takes care of any adhering issues. Okay, so we need to get our pipe centered in this. So let's get a measurement. So like I said, this is a 55-gallon drum, and it looks like we have a diameter of 21. Now, as I said, we're using 2-inch pipe, so I've got a hole saw here that is the exact, well, pretty much the same size as this pipe. because we want a fairly snug fit. So let's go ahead and drill this out. Quick tip, if you have a hole saw this big, take your chuck and adjust it so you don't wrench your hand off when this pops through. Like that. Okay, so what we're going to be doing here to keep this pipe straight. Now, I know the foam in here is going to keep it, you know, fairly straight, but we're looking for some longevity. So I like over engineering, obviously. So what we're going to do is sandwich this plastic like this. Okay, so we're going to sandwich it, which give it as much rigidity as possible. So we're going to have a short piece of pipe. Now, this pipe is Schedule 40 PVC. Okay, this is not foam core. And all these fittings are also PVC pressure fittings. Now, I want to cut this ridge off because I don't want that little gap. So let's cut that off right fast. Always be sure to cut away from you. Okay, so that will work. Now we just need to measure, and we're going to cut this piece just short enough. All right, so we have 1 3/8 into the one. We have 1 3/8 into the other. Now you're going to have a little bit, there's going to be a little bit of error when you cut it if it's cut a little crooked. So you want to err on the side of a tiny bit short because we want to smash it together and tight to this lid. So we're going to go for, what is it? So it's 2 6/8. So that's 2 1/4, right? So we're going to cut a piece of pipe 2 1/4 inches long. That's pretty square, surprisingly. Okay, so let's double check our length. Yep, that'll be fine. And let's glue this in. Okay, so what we have here is we have a clear primer and a heavy duty cement. So anytime you're working with anything pressure, you want to use your acetone primer or cleaner because it melts that surface, and when you glue it, you're going to have a permanent bond. You don't want this stuff falling apart. We'll go ahead and get it in one fitting first. Okay, so we've got both of these cleaned and they're ready to glue. Now, what I want to do is I want to be able to clamp this and get it real nice and tight. I have one of these Irwin quick grips that this end comes off. Now, if you don't have this, you know, come up with whatever works for you. But this will be a good way to, we'll get this rod through here. We're going to glue it, push it together. and we're going to get this rod through. I'm going to demonstrate now, so when I do it, I'm going to have to do it pretty quick. So this is just a quick detach, and then what we can do is use this to pull it together real nice and tight. All right, so one thing real important, make sure your pipe sticking out of this and going into this pretty much takes up the gap, because you don't want this too long. It is not going to go together enough. So be sure that your pipe isn't too long. Okay, we're all ready to go. We're going to go ahead and glue it. We'll make sure we get it on the right side. All right, we're glued. Let's drive this home. And I believe that's about as tight as it's going to get. All right, there we go. Give that a second to dry and we'll be right back. All right, guys, now we have to glue our pipe in here, so we're just gonna go ahead and glue it in full length. We got a 2-foot piece from Lowe's. So let's go ahead and once again use some cleaner on this, or primer, whatever y'all want to call it. All right. So we now have our cavity for our foam. Now the other thing I think I want to do is I'm going to take some stainless steel screws and run it into this, because, you know, we don't want this thing turning and the pump turning, because this is probably going to loosen up with age. You know, foam is only so rigid. So the other thing I want to do to help with the foam sticking is we're going to go ahead and use some cleaner on the whole pipe where this foam is. So hopefully it will stick really good to it. Okay. All right, so let's get I think these are 2.5-inch stainless steel screws. So let's get a couple pilot bits. Now, it's probably not gonna matter, but I'm gonna try not to drill all the way through. But we'll just get them in enough just to help a little bit. And we're gonna go into the coupling, so we have some extra wall thickness. All right, we're in. All right. Well, there's our float, guys. And we're gonna put obviously our cap, it's gonna go here. All right, guys, we got our glasses and we got our gloves. Let's get this done. All right, well, here goes nothing. I hope 2 is enough.
Yeah, no, me too.
Everybody has said pretty much 2 cans, so.
Did they do a
enough.
12-inch by barrel?
I think so.
Yeah.
It looked pretty big.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when it expands, it's going to expand pretty, like a lot. And you're not wanting to fill the whole thing, are you? Just the surface?
Yeah, I think we'll have to test flotation.
Yeah.
Got all our foam in here as evenly as possible. Hopefully it's gonna expand evenly. We've used 2 full cans. These are 12-ounce cans. And we'll give it a couple hours and check back and see what we got. All right, guys, well, it looks like it's really foamed up a lot. As you can see, we have about that much in it. So I think that's gonna be about right. Alrighty, guys, well, it has been about a week and a half, and we've allowed this spray foam, this pond foam, to cure. And as you can see, it has cured and pretty much puffed up in the middle pretty good. Now the edges sort of ended up separating. I don't know if you can see that. Got a little separation. So what we did is we've got 1 more can of foam, and we're gonna go ahead and fill the sides in all around the edges inside. And then my idea is we're gonna cut these down to about where the foam's gonna fill up. And I'm gonna take some plastic and we'll put the foam in, put the plastic on it to kind of give it a smooth finish. We'll see how that turns out. I don't know how well that's gonna help shape it, but mainly for that reason, once I put the plastic on and we put the foam in, then we're gonna take this basket and hold it on here, hold it in place so that foam can come up and make the impression of pretty much give us a sealing surface as it was to this basket, because this basket is, we're gonna wrap our filter media around it. So let's cut this float down to about where we think it's gonna be, and let's get right to it. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and get a measurement on this and try to figure out how much I need. I'm thinking we're gonna go for 5 inches maybe. Yeah, I'm thinking probably about 5 inches. Let's cut it to 5 inches. I don't mind a little bit of extra this hanging down anyway. So tell you what, let's go 6 inches and just take a look at it. Kind of figure out what we're doing. I'll just connect the dots this time. Okay, so we have our marks. Grab some glasses and cut this off. All right. Get this blade sticking through just a little bit. Probably could just use this as a guide. Honestly, that's probably going to be easier just to kind of... All right, beautiful. That's perfect. Oh yeah, that looks better. Okay, so let's see how this basket's going to fit on here. My pipe is too long at this point, so we'll cut that down. We got to cut it down here for our 45s anyway. All right, so I know the pump and everything, I shouldn't need any more than that, so we'll cut this off and we'll see later what we need. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like right there. The spray foam seemed to have put a little bit of warp in the top, but it doesn't matter. Now, the question is, how's this basket going to fit on here, or how well? Looks like it's going to ride up on these edges a little bit, which isn't a problem. But in order to get that to seal, what I might do is mark these out and cut this here around them so it can fit in there a little better, and we'll just shape the plastic to it, because I don't mind a little plastic sticking down. I don't want to go too far just in case we need to add more foam. I don't think we will, but just in case we end up having to put more foam in this, I want enough of this left. So from what I've seen, everybody uses about 2 cans. So hopefully that's going to be the case. So let's see here. Get an eye on this. That should work. We're going to make a mark, and I'm going to cut this out to fit this. Ain't gonna be perfect, but I think that's what I need to do. Just save a little bit of the rim. That's my only theory. Just in case I need to add more foam, I don't want to cut it down too far. So, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and mark these. Let's go ahead and mark them at 1.5 inches, and we'll see what happens. We'll cut it more if I need to. Okay, so I am going to cut initially with my saw. And don't try this at home, guys. This method is only for experienced carpenters. Okay. Okay. I think that's going to be perfect. Now, cut these sides down to meet it. All right, let's see what we have. I really want this basket to almost touch the existing foam. Let's see. Well, it's going to, ooh, that's got a nice little spring in. I like it. Let's see. Probably can adjust. I can cut this side just a little bit more. I think it could use just another tiny bit. This side was smaller, so I may cut this one too. Let's see what we had in between. Yeah, we'll cut it just a little bit. Oh yeah, that fits really good, guys. What we're gonna do is we're gonna clamp this in place as it is, so this spray foam, this pond foam, will dry in the shape we need it. So that's what we're shooting for. Now, I think we're doing good. These handles are hitting a little bit, so I'm probably gonna have to cut just to break a little of this ridge off there, and maybe here, I don't know. But we'll just get a little bit of that so it's not hitting. Oh yeah, it's hitting us right here. Let's see what that does. Okay, so that's fitting in pretty good. Yeah, I like that. I think that's going to give me minimal space, especially on these corners, for the new spray foam to fill in that gap and get this to mostly seal. Because, you know, he's got a lot of scum on his pond right now, so it's not like it's clear water. So that's why we're going to do this filter. Once this thing starts working and doing its thing, we may not even need the filter after a while. Okay. All right, I have some, this is like 4 mil plastic. I don't remember what this is. We're just gonna get us a piece long enough to go over this. Put a hole in the center, obviously. All right. Cut it long enough? Okay, it's long enough that direction. Okay, so hole in the center. I think once I put the spray foam in, I'm just going to push this in place. Then I'll just pull the excess plastic out. Yeah, that'll keep it from getting on the handle. Should have cut it a little longer, but oh well. Yeah, so, but yeah, I like it. Okay. Cut the excess. It's a little windy out here. It really is making it difficult. All right, so we've got our foam, and one thing I did afterwards was squirt the top of that foam. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit in here first, so it doesn't seal itself off, which should help the cure just a little bit. Okay, we got our gloves on. Now we just need to shake this guy up. All right, that's been about a minute. Now I just want a nice fine mist, and I'm just gonna barely get in some in there just to have some moisture. Now, I want to seal the crack first. Okay. Now I need most of it on this end. The ends. I know this is gonna expand a lot, so just trying to gauge exactly where it needs to be. All right, guys, I think we're gonna call that good. Now I'm gonna spray just a smidge of moisture on top. And now we don't want to mess this up. Let's see. I think that's how I want it. All right, we got it down in the foam. It's already giving a nice little crease to it, so that's perfect. Like I said, we just got to seal this off because it's probably going to end up squirting out everywhere. If not, we're going to strap this basket down, and then I'm going to use tape and tape this plastic down tight. Now, snug it up. I don't want to get too much tension and warp the snot out of this thing, but as long as it all fits right, it doesn't really matter. Okay, yeah, let's hurry up and tape all this plastic down. Okay, let's see what we got. That's nice and sealed in. This side's ejecting a little bit, but it's okay. Okay guys, well, it's poofing up and drying, so let's see. You can see it in there, just all, you'll have a nice little smooth surface for the most part. Much better than it was anyway. Obviously this is going to take hours to cure. So anyway, we'll check back and show you what we got. All right guys, well, it's been a couple days and a lot of pollen out here, so I had to rinse this off. So let's get this strap taken off of here and see what we have. All right. Cool. Looks like it formed really nicely. Oh yeah, nice. It formed very nicely. We can always cut some of this out. Let's pull this plastic off of here. Cool. So you can see I added a little bit to the center. This is nice and sturdy now. Oh yeah. We'll just trim some of this off here. Putty knife will do that. Okay. Oh yeah, that'll come right off. Nice. Okay, so we're ready. That's how it's going to sit in the water. And so now the basket will just drop in like that, and it will pretty much seal. I'll have to seal these holes off because I don't think my filter media will go down this far. So we'll figure out something for these holes. These handles are on the bottom meanwhile. Alrighty guys, well, it's been a few weeks and we're back out here trying to get this thing done. And I'm yelling again. Alrighty guys, well, it's been a few weeks and we're back out here trying to get this pump done today. We got a beautiful day. And of course, I've already got this thing ready. We've got this float done. It's all foamed in. And we've got these holes on this basket, which I mentioned before, but I think we're going to take some Gorilla Tape and we're just going to tape them closed. And we have some eyelets we're going to put in for the landlines. We're going to do 2 landlines to anchor this in the middle of the pond. And then we need to set our pump, get everything assembled. We've got our filter medium. We have to figure out how we're going to get it on here. Probably put some holes through it and wrap rope around it. But yeah, let's get straight in. All right, so we're gonna get us a little bit of acetone here just to make sure this tape sticks. I don't really have a better idea. So we're just gonna use some Gorilla Tape. Tape these holes closed. Make sure we have a good adhesion here. I'm going to tape it on the outside so the pump can't suck it off. All right, so this is, just going to put a little bit in here. Now I think this filter idea is hopefully just a temporary thing until this pond kind of clears up, because it's got a bunch of junk floating in it right now. Just kind of keep this from getting all clogged up till we get the pond under control. We really shouldn't probably need it after that. Okay. All right, so it's all taped up. Hopefully it holds. Now we need to figure out how to get this media on here. Now, we just ordered this from Amazon. But we're gonna have links to all that. Links or descriptions, so. Let's see, probably just wrap this like that.
Yep.
Just call it good.
Yeah.
And what I'm thinking is, so it's gonna go in here. I think we're gonna tie off some polypropylene rope. We're gonna get this media on here and wrap it around a couple times. But I think I want to put holes through this so this can't just come off the basket. So let's get our rope and get this ready. All right, so I am going to get this rope. I probably need to burn the ends on this. All right, let's get this rope cut and melt this end. It's really windy out here, so I don't know if I'm gonna do this or not. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is, I think I'm gonna just tie it off on this handle here. Now some of you not tying pros, don't laugh at my knot now. It's just a good old country boy knot I use. Another half-ish for good measure. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I wanna anchor this media on. So we're gonna drop a hole . And now I probably need to burn the other end of this.
Yep.
Nope, it's burnt.
Nice.
Sweet. Okay, so we're just gonna wrap this around on the bottom. Get it down nice and tight. Like so. And another hole here. This is the only thing we have to alter. I think we're doing pretty good.
I think we're doing phenomenal.
Okay. I feel bad for whoever has to take this off to clean it. He's holding camera.
I'll be calling you.
Okay, so now we're just gonna, I don't want to go too crazy, but I just want to make sure it's gonna stay put. And I probably need to weave this in and out a couple times. Beautiful. Okay, so we're just gonna go around one more time. I just don't want this rope falling off the bottom. So as long as it doesn't fall off, we're good. Okay, now we just need to tie this. So we will run back down to where we started, and we're going to tie off at our same knot. All right, and we have a filter.
Nice and secure.
Shouldn't go anywhere. Alrighty guys, well let's get this pump plumbed in. We're gonna measure these fittings. Now on my pump, my outlet is off center from center of gravity. So I'm gonna go ahead And we're going to get two 45s, and we're going to bring this so this pump is hanging on center of gravity so it doesn't offset the float. So we're going to get these smacked together. So I got 1.25 inches. So we're going to cut something about 2.5. I need to lower this. We're going to just cut it off of here. So let's do it. Okay, so we're going to glue these two 45s together. We need to get this male adapter put in this pump. Let's go ahead and throw some Teflon tape on it. Super thin stuff, so now I don't want to over tighten this pump. We don't want it loosening up though, so that actually bottomed out, so we'll call it good. It doesn't matter if it leaks, so as long as it stays put. We've got our adapter in our pump. Let's go ahead and get these fittings together. Once again, we want to make sure that we use acetone cleaner, whether it's purple or clear, it doesn't matter. The purple stuff, you're just going to get it all over the place. That way we have a good bond. We don't want this falling apart, especially with this pump vibrating. You're going to want to use cleaner on this. Push it in, hold. And we're going to offset, so we're just going to line these up. There's really nothing to line up. I'm just going to eyeball it so it's straight through. That's pretty good. I like it. Okay, so we have our offset. We're going to cut another short piece for this. Let's see how much length we have. So, okay. Okay.
You want me to hold it while you get your measurement, right?
Yeah, so just hold that up here,
Yep.
and I'm going to kind of gauge how I want to do this. So that's about right. So yeah, we're definitely going to have to be fitting to get this to fit. All right, that's what we'll do. So I'm going to cut this down all the way. Now this piece might be long enough. 2 1/4. I think I need about 2.5. I want full coverage in these fittings. Yeah, so I need a piece 2.5 for this. So two and a half. All right, let's get this glued up. Now you're going to want your male adapter screwed into your pump because it's going to bottom out or whatever. So screw it in, get it tight where you want it first, and then we'll get this offset in place. And I'm going to center this over the pump. Center of gravity. So that is now center of gravity hanging. So that should work. Beautiful. Now let's mock this up. I'm just going to stick this on here gently. We'll have to cut a spot for this cord to come through. And let's see what we got. Well, it definitely fits. Yeah, that looks good.
Oh yeah.
So if I hold it up, yes, it's not quite to the bottom, so that works real good. Okay, we'll go ahead and glue this in. I'm just going to glue it since the pump sticks over. We're going to glue this on in direction of the long side of our filter box. So we'll do like that. Should have enough room. Okay. And then of course this is our little end filter. This pump is made to actually have a intake hose, which of course we're not using. So he just goes on there. So that's what she's going to look like, guys. So now what we need to do is we need to get this in a container. All right, guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get this pump set in here and test it, see what flow rate is and all that. If you will go find the outlet and get ready. Pretty long. So let me drop this in here. And when we're ready here in a sec, we're gonna actually kick that on. Now, where's my cap? So we're gonna put our, bro!
Sorry, bro.
Wait, dude!
I didn't know that was live.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Sorry,
So-
I'm just glad I didn't get you wet.
Well, it definitely works. Hey, that's cool. We might need more water now.
I think so.
All right, guys, we got our barrel filled back up here.
Right? Somebody kill it here too?
No, I got a valve. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one and we're just gonna drill some holes in it and just see what we got. Kind of get an idea of what we're gonna have to do. I'll have to send you to Lowe's and buy like 20 of these.
Yeah, first it was our test caps.
Okay, let me grab some drill bits. All right, guys, so we're gonna get a baseline for what we need, hole size and hole number, quantity of holes. So I'm just gonna go crazy on this and drill a bunch of holes and let's see what we got. So very pretty, but so that's what we got. Now we have all these burrs. We're not going to have a very pretty flow with those, so that bit was a 9/64. Now we're going to take another bit. It's quite a bit bigger. And we're going to go on the inside. And we're just going to barely take that burr off. That looks a lot better. Clean it up just a little bit more. We have a few burrs on the outside. Try to take some of that off. But we'll get an idea on flow rate and all that here in a sec.
It's looking good.
It's not too bad.
Yeah.
The trick with PVC, if you're going to work it, you have to have a sharp bit, and you don't want it to get warm, because this starts melting and then you're not going to have a very good product. All right, beautiful. As you can see, all right, let's try it out. We have no idea what it's going to do. Okay. All right, we're plugging in. Let's see what we got. Whoa! Oh my gosh! Oh, I am so shocked. That is amazing. All right, turn it off. Wow!
Ridiculous.
So we're gonna try to fill this up. It's gonna empty it out pretty quick, but let's run this again and kind of we'll measure off a diameter on this thing of sorts.
I'm gonna have to take a good step back.
All my tools are wet. We didn't expect that.
Not at all. This thing has some power.
I wonder if we need more holes straight up. We'll see what it does. Whoa! It still hit the tool. That's got like crazy diameter.
It does.
Okay, I'm gonna go take all this in. Okay guys, so we have a huge span on this. We're gonna go ahead and fill in this second circle and point some of these more up, and let's see what we got. Because right now it's like the diameter on this thing is at least 40 feet.
Oh yeah.
And we don't really need 40 feet, but let's just fill in some of these and see what we can do. I'm gonna point these more or less, more straight up anyway. Okay, one more round fill in. Let's try. We'll either have ruined it or perfected it, one of the two. Okay, I think that's it. So we just need to take this burr. We want to put just a slight chamfer on the middle hole, or the inside, like that. Okay, did I get them all? I think so. All right, now we're going to drop these burrs out. All right, I think we're good. All right, let's try this. All right, test number 2. Turn on the water. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That is phenomenal.
So I'm hitting water here. And let's see where it is over here. Okay, so I've watered it here to here, and we're already out.
I think you're good.
Okay, so step it off. Diameter, 36 feet. I think that's perfect.
Me too.
So, all right, well. We might have to zip tie that guy on.
Yep.
Of course, not that we have to have it, but probably should. Now, what we need to do is get this ready to throw in the pond. We got some eyelets for our landlines. We're going to drop those through the sides. And then we have to get this roped over this motor, and we're pretty much ready to try it in the pond. So, what we're going to do, we have some stainless steel 1/4-inch eye bolts. We're going to do 2 landlines on this. And we have some lock nuts so this thing doesn't loosen up. Okay. 1/4-inch bolt, 1/4-inch. Got a 1/4-inch drill bit. We got some fender washers because we don't want this thing tearing out. We're going to go down about maybe an inch or so and just try to center it up. We'll have to cut this foam out. So I'm going to just guess straight through the pipe. I'm going to go right here, about an inch down. And we're going to take and cut this foam here enough to get these in.
It adhered really well.
It didn't do bad. Okay, so we have some eyelets to install. And we're going to make it easy on ourselves. Get these started. These are lock nuts, nylon lock nuts. Everything is stainless steel here, so. All right, here we go. Make sure she's tight. That's all we need.
Perfect.
Okay, that's for our landlines. Now, we need to go ahead and get this cord brought out. So we're going to cut us a little hole, probably right over here in the corner. Just need to get our cord through. You know what? You're probably going to run it out with a landline. So let's do it over here. We're just going to go under. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll just go under right here. That'll be fine. So dig us a little bit of a trench to get through. Our cord. And we can always zip tie. Okay, let me grab some zip ties. We're going to want to zip tie this large filter screen on, just in case something big gets in there. You don't want it messing up the pump. All right, so let's just get this cord attached so it is not flopping around and making it hard on us. I'm gonna zip tie it to this to hold it for the moment. Okay, hold that. And let's figure out how we're going to hold this on.
Oh yeah.
And let's get one over here. Just long enough. Sweet. Okay, that's not going anywhere. This filter mounted. You know what? I bet we can use the eyelets as anchors for this. Okay, so we started our rope over here. This is our rope that ties our filter media on. We're gonna take this end that I have left and utilize these eyelets because we want to hold this filter on. And I'm gonna go under this rope just to make sure. I don't foresee it coming off, but I don't know how loose stuff is gonna get. So this works out really good, having these eyelets on the other side here.
Yep.
What we're gonna do is drop us a loop, make it real easy to snug this down. Let's see if I can get this on first take. Sweet. Don't want it too tight, but I think that works.
Fancy nut.
I don't think that's going to go anywhere. And this is all locked in, guys, how we did this top. That's all locked in, so I think we're going to be good. So this is what we got. Got the two landlines, one on either side, right? Got our heads on, just hand tight. And now this is going to follow our landline. We'll probably zip tie it to it or something like that. And depending, we may be able to position the size of the pond. We may be able to actually get this plug out of the water. We'll have to see. So yeah, we're ready to try it.
Oh yeah.
Okay guys, so what we have, our initial just rough test cap. We have one in the center, right? Which actually I didn't get very straight. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 around that at about that much of an angle. And then we went to the sides and we dropped them about a 45. And then inside of that we have another 3, 6, 12 that are just a little straighter. So that's the amount of holes. We have 1, we have 6, we have 12, and then 24, I think is what it is, because I multiplied as I go around, just brought them in the pattern. And then we took a 1/4" bit and we came in and we just deburred on the inside. That's what we've done. And then you can take your bit and just shove it in and out, get the rest of your little burrs off like that. You'll have a pretty decent holes for just drilling it out. So anyway, that's our head. And that is a 2-inch threaded cap.